The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Greetings, Happy New Year, and welcome to our monthly TV show called Easton 300. This is a great opportunity for us to highlight all the events that will be taking place as the Town of Easton, Massachusetts celebrates its 300th anniversary. The select board in the Town of Easton has appointed a tricentennial committee. And the Tricentennial Committee has rounded up lots of volunteers and coordinators to put together a celebration that will be long remembered. I'm Dave Clifton, happy to be the host of this show. Brian Hoffman is traveling today on vacation. He will not be with me, but we got a show with lots of people who do lots of work behind the scenes to help plan and prepare this celebration. Let's meet our guest, Al Provatz. It's on my far left. He has the Aleppo hat on today, and of course we're excited about them coming to our parade, which is scheduled on July 12th, 2025. And next to him, of course, we have Craig Lepro, and Craig is involved in the parade committee. He's an active member of the Lions Club in town, and he's just about available for anything that needs to be done in town. And we appreciate all your hard work and volunteer leadership. And on my right, this is a gentleman, Ken Wood. I know we named the ice skating rink after Ken Wood and Mr. Yardley, the late Mr. Yardley. And it's probably an honor for you to have your name on it. But Ken and Al and Craig, we have a chance to highlight some of the events. But first of all, weren't you gratified to see the turnout that we had at the very first kickoff event at Stonehill College? That took place on January 4th. 2,500 people, according to the Stonehill College Police, were in attendance. We thank the sponsor, the SC Credit Union, and of course, we're forever grateful for all the workers and volunteers that gave their time under the leadership of Amanda Hurley and Anne-Marie Taylor. What a terrific job they did in organizing the event, and I'm excited about it. Let me start with you, Craig.
Sure.
What can you say about that first event?
A tremendous turnout. I think it was beyond my expectations. Nothing but smiles on everybody's faces, and I think it was a great kickoff event for what's going to be an amazing year for Easton.
Let me also thank the Rhodes family. They were one of the two sponsors along with SCU Credit Union. We can't do without the sponsors, and we appreciate their generosity. They came forward in the planning and preparing, and as the chair of the event, I'm as good as the people that I surround myself with, people like yourselves and all the coordinators, the committee appointed by the select board. Each person has a major responsibility, and everybody has stepped up to do it. It has to be done. And now we can start to see the results, yes, and we can put smiles on our faces to think about what's happening. And we got a lot of events that are coming up. But what are some of the things that you noticed, Al, at the first event?
Oh, I thought it was awesome. The people were happy. It was quite a group. The kids bringing all the children there, and it just was a fun thing to watch. Watch those young ones. I was very impressed with everybody.
You know, what we talked about is having events that would be open for people of all ages.
Yes,
And when you went to that first event, you saw all the kids and their parents
yes,
and the families and the neighbors coming together.
Yes.
That to
Yes.
me was impressive. But just to see, for instance, it was so cold out.
yes.
Thank God we have the buses, and we can thank Ken Wood for coordinating that with the Council on Aging. And that certainly made a difference, the 4 buses.
Well, Dave, one thing is we get a lot of comments that are positive about that, because we're bringing families together.
Yes.
But we kind of forget about the handicapped and those buses are handicapped, so they brought a lot of handicapped people in. So we're going to be using them at quite a few of our events during the year. Dave put me kind of in charge of buses for all the sessions, so where we need them. So we're going to try to work with everybody and try to get as many people, young and old, over to all the events.
And I think that the fact that we have volunteers that give their time, their talent, their ideas, their resources certainly makes a difference. And we're not closing the door on volunteers still getting involved, because, you know, I've said this many times, it takes 35 people to run a parade. I'm not talking about the committee members. They're already working and they're involved. But when the parade committee under the leadership of Corey Ahonen happens on July 12th, you folks who are involved as some of the volunteers on that parade committee, I'm hoping and praying that this will be the largest parade the town of Easton's ever had.
I agree with you.
What can you guys say about the parade?
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome.
Awesome.
I'm confident this will be the biggest and hopefully the best parade the town has ever seen.
And right now, in terms of the plans thus far, there's about 6 bands.
Yeah.
There's going to be floats in the parade. There's going to be horses. There's going to be bikes. There's going to be kids. There's going to be a great sense of community from groups in the town that live here, that participate. I understand the Clydesdales are coming.
Correct.
Yes.
And of course, the Shriners are coming. And if you don't believe me, take a look at Al's hat.
There you go.
The Aleppo Shriners, they're going to have a whole division.
Yeah. We don't,
And I understand that the sheriff of Bristol County is going to be here, and he's going to bring a whole division of vehicles and everything else that goes with it.
Nice.
What can you say about that, Craig?
We have a lot of exciting stuff lined up. We have the members of the USS Constitution are coming, Old Ironsides. They're going to march in our parade, which we are obviously very excited about. It's a real honor to have them participate in our parade. We're going to have honor guards from the state police, obviously the Easton Police Department. Flyover by the Massachusetts State Police is tentatively scheduled, pending an emergency doesn't divert them from another mission. But very excited about that. We have a few special surprises too that I think the kids are going to love, and just tremendous interest in the parade. And it seems like every week we're adding new participants to it. It's going to be a great one.
And what Corey Honan tells us now, that the parade lineup is going to be at 9 a.m. The parade's going to begin down by the monument, and the parade starts at 10 a.m. And I would expect up until about 12 noon, maybe a little afterwards, this parade will wind down. But when you think about just all the fire departments from the area towns lining up, that's a whole separate division in itself. And of course, we thank the fire chief for lining that up. And there's going to be the need for buses.
Yeah. And places for buses to park and all that, and we're working and all of that stuff. There's a lot that's tied in with it.
yeah.
And of course, when I say buses, Ken and I are talking about, it's one thing to line up and march in the parade, but you got to get back to the starting point. The parade's going to be about 2 miles, Al.
That's right.
And you've been to a lot of parades. You've been involved in parades,
Yeah.
and it's a big commitment. And I know that I heard that you personally are praying for good weather on that day.
Yes, I am.
And I know that there's going to be a review stand in front of the Department of Public Works. My wife reminds me because she's going to be decorating the review stand.
Yeah.
And of course, we're excited about all the folks who keep calling to be in this parade. And I'd like to thank the coordinator of the parade, Corey, because he strongly recommended that we change the parade date from July 4th. And his reason was to myself and our committee running the entire celebration that, number one, people go on vacations and they're not used to the parade taking place on July 4th. And number two, we have a better shot at getting bands and drum and bugle corps and color guards and all the other stuff that goes
Yeah.
with the parade
Absolutely.
if we change the date. Now we have no conflicts. Do you agree with that, Al?
100%. That's where we started. We have. We also have the veterans too, which Kenny and I know. We are building a new float for the VFW, American Legion and Alliance. So the people, like Kenny was saying, they can't march. So we're trying to do this. Hopefully, maybe, like Kenny said, we could put them in some of the cars that are in the parade, you know. We're hoping we can do that. So I think this is, I've had some people already address me on that. Matter of fact, today I had 2 people at the bank address me on that.
I want to take this opportunity to give Al a pat in the back. This guy's, believe it or not, 92 years of age. He looks like he could run in the Boston Marathon. But I'll tell you, he still stays active. I see him every day. He's in a different car every day. But the fact is that God bless our senior adults in the town. I'm one of them myself, but
Yeah, God bless you.
you stay so active at your age, and you should be commended.
Thank you.
Tell us about Aleppo Shriners. I know you used to be a member of that group.
Yeah, I was, back in the day, I had a quarter horse, and I used to dress up as an Arab, you know, with the sword and all, with the funny shoes. And it was, you know, I made a lot of shows back in the day. And I traveled a lot with the different parades, you know. It was something. I was younger then, you know, more active. But as time goes, I can't get on the horse anymore.
Yeah, I can understand. And Ken Wood, you have been such an active guy in the town of Easton.
Yes.
It goes way back to when you served as recreation director here in the town of Easton, Massachusetts. I realize it was a part-time position, but you probably did it full-time to take care of things that had to be done. But I'd like to thank you for the work you have done. Tell the audience about what you and your wife started a number of years ago, which is so much needed here in the town.
Well,
The food pantry.
Yeah, the Easton Food Pantry in 1978. Now I'm just turned 86, so I figure half my life, my wife and I have been involved with the program. I mean, unfortunately, she passed 7 years ago, but she's with us at the food pantry, and now it's grown so big. It's if you go by the church, you'll see it. But what I want to mention too is about I was on the 275th anniversary committee, and we had quite a few, Ernie Camara and a lot of people in town that you know who were on that committee. But I'll tell you, now we've got, all the extra volunteers, plus the main committee, we've got twice as many people. And so this is why I think this year's event is going to be even bigger than it was in 275th.
Yeah. I agree with you, Kenny.
And I think it's so important to realize that the town is spending a lot of opportunities to plan and prepare programs, but this is a community that's rich in history. When you think about 300 years, when you walk down the main street in North Easton and you take a look at the buildings that we have here in the town, Craig, I mean, it's truly amazing. That alone tells you there's lots of history. Not only are they buildings, but the buildings that have been constructed are truly amazing. And we've got a lot to be thankful for, and I can see it. I could see the generosity of people. I thank the main committee for coordinating all the efforts. Courtney Pupkin for the work that she's done raising funds. Outstanding. I take a look at the marketing job done by Mike Good. And then you take a look at the business involvement by Ken Michael. What a job he's doing. And of course, he happens to be the president of the Easton Historical Society. And we'll be talking to him at another show when we key on specifically just the history. Let's talk for a minute, Craig, if we may, about New Year's Eve. That was a great opportunity for both Dale, the vice chair, and myself to say to the folks who are preparing for the bell to ring to bring in 2025 all the events that are upcoming. And it was a good reception. The people are excited about this. The people in the town of Easton are ready to celebrate. And I've said this many times, the world's gotten a little crazy. And I know, Al, you got a smile on your face because you realize it as well as Ken does. The time has come for us to do things in a positive way.
That's right.
To bring all of our volunteers together who are willing to give their time and to plan and prepare for a giant celebration, one that will be long remembered. And when I take a look at the generosity of the donors and the folks in town, we got about 160 pole banners going up right now as we speak from people who want to participate in some way. And that pole banner carries the 300 years. And it not only does that, but it reminds everybody that our theme is bringing families and community together. We're going to talk about a wide range of activities that will be taking place, but we're going to take a short break. Don't go away, folks. This is an opportunity to go to your refrigerator, help yourself, and send Al the bill. The fact is, we're here together to highlight all.
Hi there, I'm Gail Devins, and join me as we discover all the businesses that made Easton great. This is a wonderful, wonderful place. I cannot wait. I want to do it. I want to go there. I am definitely coming back, and I know you will too, because I'm telling you something. It is absolutely amazing in here. What a wonderful way to discover Easton. It's right here in Easton. Showing at noon on Mondays, 2 p.m. on Tuesdays, and 11 a.m. on Fridays, only on ECAT.
Welcome to Service Matters, a weekly radio show that talks about the good things that are happening in local communities and beyond.
Since 1978, the Easton Food Pantry has been dedicated to providing food to our neighbors in times of need. As long as there's hungry people in our community, our doors are open, our hearts will be open to help.
We also like to talk about the good things that people do to make a difference, and in many cases, to make dreams real for folks out there in need.
Just to chat about, as you say, some of the good things in life. There's some of the good things, the great things, and the happy things.
And certainly watch us on ECAT, Easton Community Access Television.
Yeah. This is the life. Just relaxing by the beach. What could be better than this?
I've got an idea.
What?
I'd really like to find a forever home.
Forever home?
Yeah, like Jack Ryan talks about on Easton News. A forever home. All those animals at the APCSM, they get forever homes. Why not us?
Listen, man, I hate to tell you this.
Tell me what? Come on, tell me. Look, I can take it. Look at me. Come on, tell me. I can take it. Come on.
We're not real.
What are you talking about? Of course we're real. Look at us. We're sitting here on the beach, on vacation, being served raw meat, mind you. We're having a great time. How are we not real? No, thank you. I'm good. I've had enough. I've had enough. Thank you. What are you talking about? Of course we're real.
Look, it's not that we're not real. We're just not living, breathing animals. You don't even have a mouth, dude.
Well, oh yeah? Well, your eyes are just plastic.
Right back at you.
You've ruined my vacation. I can't believe you've done this.
I mean, well, while we're at it, why do we need a vacation? It's not like you have a job.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. All right. You know what? I'm out of here.
Cubby, wait. I'm sorry. I didn't mean... Oh, well, you have to get it eventually.
If you'd like to get your hands on a cubby of your own, scan the QR code on your screen now.
In 2023, Easton is a tight-knit community of 25,000 people. But with the hustle and bustle of modern life, it's easy to forget our past. A time when Easton's population was 6,000.
Everybody knew who everybody was.
And there was respect.
There was respect for everyone.
When kids enjoyed great freedom and independence.
Everybody was poor at today's standards, but we all were in the same boat and we enjoyed life.
So join me, Priscilla Almquist-Olsen, as I explore what makes Easton so very special with some of its lifetime residents.
I think Easton has so much to offer, and if you're living in a community, you have to know it.
Watch Growing Up in Easton Tuesdays at 7 p.m. and Friday at 9 p.m. See you then.
Welcome back to another segment of Easton 300. We've been doing this show, believe it or not, since early January 2023. And we decided back then that we would do a show once a month to talk about the planning of a giant celebration. Back then it wasn't a giant celebration, it was what do we do? What kind of activities do we have? When are they going to happen? How do we raise the money? What kind of bands can we get for the parade? Where would the parade be? What would be the first event? Would we have a gala? Do you think we could possibly get the college to participate? How about the Governor Ames Estate? How about the Oak Ames Memorial Hall? How about Borderland State Park? Those are all the questions that we were asking. Well, folks, those questions have been answered. We couldn't turn back right now if we wanted to. The events have all been planned. The sponsors are in place. We've raised the funds. We're just waiting to bring in a few additional dollars to support things that we can add to the celebration. We've already got 50 volunteers in place that are active, that have roles to play. But we're looking for another 50 or so to continue to make sure that what happens in a very positive way. I have had the honor and privilege of meeting with our chief of police, and we have put together, thanks to him and his staff, a plan that will be very much needed. It's a safety plan, and whenever you bring large crowds together, and folks, you can count on the large crowds. We've already witnessed it at the very first event. I'm not so concerned about a large crowd for a parade, or maybe a large crowd for a bonfire. Those are things, including the fireworks, those are things that draw large crowds anyways. And there may be some out-of-town participation, so the safety plan is going to be in place and it'll be important. There'll be bus transportation provided where needed. We got a great sense of cooperation from the schools, from Borderland State Park, the use of buildings. We are right now on target to have a celebration that we will long remember.
Yes.
Let's talk about the next two events that are coming up in April of 2025. I don't have to remind you that 2025 has arrived. It's here. Mm-hmm. We've already had one event, and now we're talking about the second and third event. And it happens to be taking place on April 19th. It's going to be a family fun day. It's going to be over at the Langwater farm. There's going to be everything from hay wagon rides. There's going to be all kinds of activities for people of all ages. They draw huge crowds anyways. This is going to be even a bigger crowd, and we may need some bus transportation for that as well.
Our concern on that, Dave, is 138. Really, you're not supposed to park on 138. So I've already spoke to the council and agent on their shuttle buses to shuttle people around. They probably put some of them down at the town hall, but a lot of them would be shuttled the same as when we do the stuff over to the Ames Estate. Will be shuttled from the school parking lots. That's the biggest parking lots in town. So, because the smaller ones will be tied up like the town parking lot. That all the restaurants will tie that up on Saturday morning, so you won't get there. So in the Immaculate Reception parking lot gets all from the restaurants. Mm-hmm. So we got to look at that, and we're going to have handicapped people who want to get there again. So this is why we'll do that, and for safety because of Elm Street, that's a big concern of mine.
Now this Family Fun Day is called a partnership event with the Celebration Committee. I say partnership, it's not a signature event. It's something that's not totally sponsored by the committee. It's partially sponsored with committee participation. And then we have a signature event the same month, and that's going to be the Art and Cultural Festival, and that will be at the Oak Ames Memorial Hall. That's scheduled for April 26th. That'll be coordinated by Joan Langren and her co-chair, Diane Lasati. And of course, that'll be taking place between the hours of, I should say, 11 to 4 p.m. And there are going to be surrounding locations that will also be involved in this activity. So this is going to be, there's lots of artists in town. There's going to be music, there's going to be food. You're going to see a lot of different things happening. They're probably using the Ames Free Library. So I know that families are going to enjoy that. We're going to have to block off certain areas for parking. And again, we expect to have huge crowds at all of these events. I didn't ask you, Al, are you an artist too?
Yes, I am. They got two of, what's Michael's,
wow.
What's his place? You know, the place that Michael has,
Oh, you're talking about Ken Michael.
yeah,
Yeah.
not Ken Michael, but Michael Siegel. You know,
Oh,
his little
okay.
shop over here.
Michael Siegel.
Yeah, Michael
That's great.
Siegel's shop has got a lot of stuff there, and 2 of my pictures are in there. 2 of my art
I
pieces.
think I saw one of them when I was in his place. Yes.
I got 2 of them there.
Terrific. So those 2 events, I think they're nice events to bring families to. And I know that it's hard for us in a short period of time to go through every detail that's going to take place with all of our events. But the next event is going to be a multiple series of events that's going to take place on Flag Day. I know we got a few veterans that join us here on this panel, and we're very proud of the red, white, and blue, the American flag. But we're going to honor the veterans on this day, June 14th, Flag Day. It's going to be at the high school complex. It's going to start at 4 p.m. There's going to be a 42-piece band. There's going to be 2 giant flags, one from Mount Rushmore. It's going to take 80 people just to hold these 2 flags.
Gee.
And there's going to be music. There's going to be, we're going to be giving away flags to all the participants that are there. And we thank the sponsor for this particular day, the Bank of Easton. And we're going to have a concert from 7 to 9:15 p.m. And of course, the fireworks go off at 9. But there's also going to be another major event, and it's going to be a town picnic, which is going to take place. So there'll be activities for the young people, and we have a series of coordinators. Of course, our fire chief is going to be coordinating the fireworks. I'm smart enough to know and realize that safety is involved in not just the fireworks, but the bonfire on another day. The fire chief is going to be handling both those events. We also have the concert, and again we thank the Bank of Easton, and we also thank the sponsor of the fireworks, Alex Pires. He's a former basketball player at Sharon High School. He no longer lives and works in the town, but wanted to make a healthy donation to his community where he grew up. So we wanted to thank Mrs. Zimmerman for her leadership role in putting the community picnic together. And of course, Adam Gunn is the guy who's coordinating the flag ceremony at 4 p.m. So that looks like a big event. And doesn't it sound exciting with all the things going on in the same day? Yep. Just the people alone is a big crowd.
Oh, it's gonna...
What can you add to it? I know the Lions Club's going to be involved that day.
Yeah, Lions, a lot of crossover members between the Lions Club and the the year-long 300 celebration. That's kind of how I got involved originally, and a lot of tremendous people who volunteer and just very talented people, devoted people. I think it's going to be a tremendous turnout at all these events, just as it was back last week at the college kickoff, and I think momentum is just going to build as the year goes on.
So members of the Lions Club are going to be holding one of those flags, and President Rob, we can't thank him enough for his leadership ability. This is a Lions Club that steps up to the plate, not just for this year-round celebration, but they've been doing a lot of things in the community, and very much appreciated. And it's very appropriate. Their motto happens to be, we serve. And that they do.
That's
and,
true.
They're to be commended for that. Which brings us to the next event, which is going to be the parade. And the 4 of us sitting here on the panel are all very much involved in that parade. And of course, even though the theme for the celebration is bringing families and community together. They have a motto also with the parade, and that is to celebrate the history of the town of Easton. And it started out just like our full committee started out. What do we do? How many bands can we get? What do we have for a budget to run it? And of course, they've come a long way since. This parade committee is going to be meeting twice a month until they get things underway. And they really have to in order to take control over all the things that are happening. I know Ken and Al have been very much involved in the parade route. Where does it start? What's the lineup? Where does it finish? And how can we, in terms of traffic control for the police, there are roads and streets that have to be closed off. Right now, the intention by the committee, and correct me if I'm wrong, Al and Ken, that the plan right now is to line up all the fire departments from each town on Center Street, the parade route. But they're going to be moving further up the route. They're not going to be lining up right at the monument.
Yeah, Short Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up by around Short Street. And then, of course, you're going to have Division 1 and Division 2 lining up behind them. No, those are going to be two giant divisions. Where's Division 3 and 4 and maybe 5 going? They're going to be across from the lights in that Circle Street.
School Street, yeah. Coming back to the
It's
lights.
going to be School Street, but it winds into...
It comes around and it comes right to the lights, so we're going to feed them
What's the
across.
name of that street directly across from the light?
Porter, I believe it's
Porter
Street.
Yes.
Yeah. Porter.
That's why we brought this guy along tonight, folks, because he knew Porter Street. The fact is that there's a lot that goes into putting a parade together. And it's not easy lining up a parade. It's not easy at the finish of the parade. And making sure that we got safety precautions in hand. And we want to give a nice shout out and thank you to CERT,
Yes.
Community Emergency Response Team. They should be thanked because they're going to have a tent set up in order to provide whatever safety is needed for anyone that might get sick at the parade or what might happen. We certainly hope that nothing happens. We got the Clydesdales coming, and they're going to be have to be lined up. And Al has volunteered me to walk behind the Clydesdales with a shovel. And I want to thank him very much for including me in the parade. The fact is, we even have the opportunity to thank ECAT, Easton Community Access Television. They not only have agreed to cover all of our meetings, members of the Easton community, but they're going to be covering all the events that take place. So if you're not at one of them, you'll get a chance to see them. They're going to put a camera in the parade to cover the people who are watching the parade. They're going to put a camera on the side of the road to cover the parade. So one way or another, everybody gets on camera. And I wanted to point out one thing before I forget. That clock that you see, our logo, was a clock that was in the center of town. And it was Lee Williams, the late Lee Williams, who kind of worked together with the, I forget which group it was. Anyways, to be able to provide that clock for the town, which now becomes our logo. Our very first donation to the celebration was $54,000, and that came in memory of Lee Williams, money that he raised. There was a time way back when, and he was active with the Lions Club as well. Yep. He went to an Easton Select Board meeting, and he donated $10,000 You talk about a guy who had vision. He said, I'd like to donate $10,000 for the town's 300th anniversary. So that vision has come alive, and his memory comes alive. And he will be the guy, and his son and their foundation will be sponsoring our gala on December 27th. That's the final event of our 300th anniversary celebration. So we thank the Williams family for helping to keep Lee's memory alive. But this parade is going to have everything from soup to nuts. I know I'm not talking about a menu, but I'm talking about the fact that there's not going to be too much that's going to be missed. Tell us about some of the people that you've been talking to add to the parade.
We started meeting last April, the parade committee, and just a tremendous group of volunteers, and everybody brought something great to the table. So the initial focus was to reach out to all the nonprofits in town and give anybody who wanted to be in the parade a chance to participate. Then we kind of moved on to all the houses of worship, religion, schools, sporting groups, any charity we could think of. And our goal was to reach out to as many people as we could and, give them a chance to, get involved, marching with a float, possibly driving the parade if needed, march. And we've had tremendous feedback. I think it's really been really great to see. From there, we kind of moved on to, getting some bands involved, military groups, veterans groups. We have Clydesdales coming. We have Frisian horses. We have several mounted groups.
The Army National Guard is going to join us.
Yes.
As a special salute to the town of Easton.
Yes.
And we're encouraging people out there to, why not put a neighborhood float together and join us on the parade. This doesn't happen too often, folks, that we celebrate 300 years. This is a great community to live, to work, and to enjoy. It's a community of residents that care, that share what they have with others. It's a community that understands how lucky we all are to have what we have and to live in a town like Easton, Massachusetts. Do you know the story behind, and maybe you do, Al, the story behind how we got the name Easton? I heard that we were the east side of Taunton, and that's how they gave us that name, Easton. But it's a community that is looking forward to this celebration. I got to say thank you to the Easton Select Board. The 5 members have been very receptive. They organized. We all come under their umbrella. They realized that this is an important year for us to celebrate. And all the doors have been open. And people are aware that there's a celebration. I haven't found too many people recently that haven't heard, because I ask whenever I go up the street, have you heard about the 300th anniversary? I remember someone saying to me a long time ago, you're talking about a wedding anniversary? I said, no, I'm already married. The fact is that the town is going to be celebrating 300 years. 300 years of history. There's lots of history, even at Stonehill, I should say not Stonehill College. Certainly there is there as well, but Portland State Park. Lots and lots of history. And so we're so excited about it. The next item that I'd like to bring up, and go ahead, Ken, you had something you wanted to say.
One thing we just want to mention, and a lot of people have seen it, is the bulletin board that we have for a whole year at 123 and 138 by Honeydew. So that's going to be updated So if you don't have the information or you want to know what's going on, we're going to update you. We're going to also mention all the sponsors that have helped us out during the centennial. So it should be really good. So you can't miss that bulletin board.
Yeah.
The next event's going to be the block party. I should mention, because I think that's important, the parade itself is sponsored by the Haynes Group. And I know that the Shriners are going to be sponsored by Vertec.
Vertec, yeah.
They're an expensive group to get, but their money that they raise by being in a parade goes to the Burn Center. So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
The block party, 12 to 4 p.m., that's going to be at the Governor Ames Estate. We moved it there to kind of let traffic go through rather than do it on the main street because it's going to be too big. And we thank Doug King for his company for sponsoring the block party. This is going to be filled with music, food, activities for people of all ages. All you have to bring with you is a big smile. And one of the things that we hope we can do with a celebration like this is to get families in town to do things together. And I know that some of us take that for granted. We get so busy in your jobs and schools and trips and all the things that go with bringing up a family. But you got to agree that the town of Easton, Massachusetts is a great community to bring up a family. There's something about living here, you feel safe. You got a good school system. You've got a lot of outdoor recreation facilities available. And you got a community that cares and a community that shares. What more can we ask for? The next event is a double duty day. I'm going to talk about the town bonfire in the evening. And Al and I are going to talk about the car show that's going to take place. That's going to be the first event from 9 to 2 in the morning. It's going to be at Borderland State Park. Dale Thistle is coordinating that with lots of groups. Tell us about it, Al.
Well, Dale is coordinating with the largest group in New England, is the Mass Cruisers. They're the ones that put on the big shows at Gillette Stadium. So he's organizing quite well with that group. And also, we're going to use some of the same people in the parade. So I think it's going to be a great thing, going with your wife, taking pictures again.
From the bell tower. Like she did before.
My wife has to do that because the son is coordinating on behalf of the Friends of Borderland.
Yeah.
And of course, we thank the Friends for being available, making this available, and we thank the Friends also and the park itself. There'll be free parking on that particular day.
Nice.
Thanks to Borderland State Park. And we certainly are happy that they have a banner flying, one of 160 pole banners scattered throughout the community. And as you're watching us, they're still putting pole banners up. And I wanted to extend an invitation to folks out there in the community. There may be businesses that would like to show their support and partnership with the town celebration by purchasing a banner for $300. The banner will be up for an entire year. That's pretty good advertising for a year. It's a two-sided vinyl banner that you can see behind me. Yeah. And it kind of shows our motto. It has Easton on the top, 300 years, and on the bottom it has the sponsor. So if you're interested, contact us either at easton300.2025@gmail.com. I'll repeat that in case you're driving over a bridge. easton300.2025 easton300.org@gmail.com. You can also go to our webpage, www.easton300.org. I'll repeat that again, www.easton300.org. You can still get a banner. If you don't have a business, you might do what I did. I put a banner up, contributed $300 to the celebration for the cause, and it says the Clifton family. You might wish to do that yourself.
Saw that.
Put a banner up, let it hang there for a year to show your support. We would welcome that, and of course it goes towards the celebration. If you're making out a check for the pole banner, it's $300. There's a form that you fill out that tells you exactly what you want on the banner. And by you printing it, that makes sure that we spell it correctly. So it's a very simple technique to do.
Yeah, so a couple other things I want to mention, Dave, too. I'm chairman for the manpower for the committee. And he's already given you the information and the contact. So if you'd like to get involved with us during the parade, we could still use another 50 volunteers.
Yeah.
So for different things. If you got a specific thing you would like to get involved with, then just let us know. And sometimes you might have to do some lifting and stuff, so you got to consider that. The other thing that we're adding to it too, we haven't pulled into yet, but the Halloween parade that's done by the Easton Food Pantry. We're going to be doing it again this year, but we're in the process of changing the location in the neighborhood so that more floats and more people can get in. Barrow Street's getting too small for formation and try to move vehicles around. So I'm in the process of doing that. It'll probably still be in the neighborhood area, but probably start up at the schools and loop back to by the fire station, so everybody can get involved. You know.
We're also going to have a bike race, folks. We're going to have that bike race will be in August. There's going to be an interfaith gathering. We want to bring all the churches and temples together during the celebration year. That'll take place in November. And on December 21st, which is officially our anniversary date, we're going to ring all the church bells. And if you've got a bell at home, get ready to ring it. The fact is that we want to show people in town that we're very gratified and absolutely thrilled that we can celebrate the Town of Easton's 300th anniversary. This is not our anniversary, I should say. It's the whole town's anniversary, and we want to enjoy it as well. The final event that we have before we wrap up our show is the anniversary gala. It's going to be at Stonehill College. We opened and closed at Stonehill. They're part of our community, and Father John, the president, has made that very clear, that he also is going to hang a banner that says, "Happy Anniversary, Town of Easton." They're part of our community, and we're going to open up the doors. We're going to have spotlights as you enter. We ask you either to wear your best or just to wear the suit that you prefer. The most important thing is that you show up and be with us for the final anniversary celebration. We're going to roll out the red carpet. There's going to be a sit-down dinner. The select board are going to cut the cake. Father John, the president of Stonehill, is going to welcome us. The bands will be playing. We'll be celebrating. There'll be picture taking. They'll be reminiscing of all the things that we've done this year during 2025. And of course, we have a lot of surprises for that night as well. So that's a pretty good idea of most of the events that are going to take place. There's going to be a lot more that will happen to spice it up. We are so proud of the Town of Easton, and we are so thankful for all the volunteers that have come forward. There are many, many more beside the folks that join me on camera today that are doing things behind the scenes to make a difference. There's a terrific cookbook that has been done that people, it's going like hotcakes. We got an anniversary book. Folks, everybody in town is probably going to end up in that anniversary book, and everyone's going to want a copy of it after the celebration is over. And we hope when all is said and done that we can present a special gift to the town of Easton for just being the town of Easton. That's going to wrap it up for today's show. I wanted to thank our guest, Al Provost. Thank you so much for being you and for participating, and you keep up the spirit. You make me feel young. And Craig, we thank you so much for your active participation on the parade committee, as well as taking an active part with the Lions Club. And I know that people have had good things to say about Craig Lego, so we appreciate it. And this guy here, Ken Wood, I've always referred him as one of the Mr. Eastons, because he's always there, always finds a way to get himself busy and to do things for this community. Any final comments any one of you'd like to make?
Could we just add that if anybody is interested in being in our parade, just go to the Easton 300 website and let us know who you are and that you want to be in our parade. And we would love to have you.
This cablecast has been a production of ECAT, Easton Community Access Television. I say to folks out there, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of helping others. Why not do it by giving yourself back to the community by being a volunteer for the 300th anniversary for the town of Easton? Have yourself a terrific week. Stay warm.